What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TGI's Party Chat. I am your host, Dan Gilbert, and joining me this week, as every other week it's ever been, Ashley Dye and Matt Selfwell.
That's technically not true. Sometimes Ash doesn't turn up.
I'm always here.
Always here.
Has he ever missed a party chat?
Yes, he has.
Oh,
We had a party chat with the two of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Denied.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Not 100% accurate.
Attendance, yeah.
It's close enough. It's close enough.
Anyway, for anyone who hasn't seen Party Chat before, it is our weekly show on a Wednesday in which we bring a topic to the table. It can be gaming related, it can be vaguely gaming related, but it's just something that's been on one of our minds or we've seen in the news recently, and we would want to discuss it a little bit more than what we would do in the Game of the Week show, which would then drag that video out far too long.
Which inevitably happens anyway.
Yes, but it's an extra one. So this week it's my turn to give these guys a topic to think over, and I've come up with something based on customization of characters in video games. Do you think more games should offer this, or do you think sticking with a face of the franchise is the right way to go? So, for example, Uncharted, Nathan Drake as he looks and is now. Obviously, you're a fan of that because you basically look like him.
Yep.
If you were someone who weighed 300 pounds and were of a different sort of race, would you want to be able to turn Nathan Drake into something that looks a little bit more like you in that sense, to relate to him a little bit more? Or do you think it needs to just stay as it is and games shouldn't worry about this?
There is actually an add-on that you can make Nathan Drake incredibly fat.
Oh yeah, I know. That's that's either a cheat or you
Yeah.
complete the game code or something.
It's a game code or something, yeah. And he has a massive face and he's about 300 pounds. It's really funny. And
But
he runs just as fast.
You get that after like the game or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a sumo wrestler swinging vines.
It's really good.
It's basically 300 pound Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
But that's not customization.
No,
that's
it's
cheat.
I see your point, and I think, going back a few years, it was all the rage with games where you could really customize games, and I know you still get your sort of standardized. You'll get your maybe a choice of 10 faces, or you'll get different hairstyles or something quite basic. And there are other games where we were talking about this off air before, with the sliders where you can go from one extreme to the other. I think it depends on the game. I think some games, it is nice to have that customization. I think it's good to have that option, but then it depends entirely on the game, because if it's a first person view, then it's irrelevant really.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. That's why I'm thinking, in my mind, when I'm talking about this more, I'm thinking more like the third person adventure games and stuff like that, where you constantly see your character.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you still get it in these games where it is first person, and that's why I don't understand it. It's like, why are you making me waste my time customize this character that I'm never going to see?
Because it's for that one special moment where your character walks past a mirror.
Yes. No, I like.
So you have to stop, walk back, and look at it.
I'm personally of the mind, just give me a character to play with.
Yeah.
Personally, because these customizations are great. The details you can see them do. Now, like you said before, like kind of you can choose like the distance between how big your eyes are apart. The jawline, how strong it is. And you see people make some good characters. You also see some people make some funny characters.
Yeah.
I've heard in Bloodborne, but in the most recent example, that you can make your character look like the Joker, apparently.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. But it's just like, whenever I've tried to customize my character, it'll normally start with, say the eyes. So I'll spend 5 minutes on the eyes, and I'm bored, and then I'll just tick generic for the rest of them. So like, there's some damn good eyes, but the rest of them are
standard.
I just think it's a nice option to have, but people don't play. I don't think people play games for the character. They play it for the story, and I don't think customization would work in a lot of games where it is a story. Because if you want to tell a story, you want to write about this character, and like in a book or in a movie, a character's very specific. Like the look has to match and everything.
You're right.
That's where I was gonna.
And it's like, you by giving this kind of option to have different characters, all of a sudden the look is then taken away, which automatically then makes maybe the story of the character to be a little bit more generic.
Yeah, it can distort, I think, what the connection there is between the character and the story that's written for that character.
Yeah, there is a fine line, because like you're talking about the movie stuff there. Obviously, in a movie, you wouldn't be like, well, this is now going to be shown in this theatre, which is actually in more of a sort of like black area of New York, so therefore, yeah, you're not going to be the actor in it this time. We're going to refilm the entire thing to be shown in a different ethnic area. So I get that.
It's
like if a movie picks its actor and then
Based on-
sticks with its actor throughout the whole thing. They don't change it depending on where they're showing it. It's not something like, oh, we're showing this in China, therefore we must have an entirely Asian cast for this film.
I think
Or
you're
as
right.
it's
I
being
think
shown.
with the superhero or the not necessarily superhero, but the sort of the Nathan Drake sort of person. I mean, we were saying before that predominantly you find that these heroes or whatever in games, you know, like say they're normally, you know, white male, late 20s, early 30s or whatever, and it's
the best thing, isn't it?
Always
we're white, we're male, we're late 20s. Doesn't get any better than this.
It always seems like it is the same sort of generic appearance of this. You know, it's just it's society. It's
There
the world
isn't a
we
lot
live
of
in.
diversity.
Yeah.
You've got to admit that. But it's like, I think as well, it depends on how many hours this game's gonna run for.
Yeah.
Because like Mass Effect, it's got its standard box art characters, as in like your generic guys. If you don't want to customize anything, it's got the presets all ready to go.
Yeah.
All its marketing uses the presets
Yeah.
and so on. So that's another thing as well, like from the marketing side of things. But if you're going to spend a long time with a character, surely you're going to want to make him look, or him, her look, something you want to spend that time with.
No, because the artists had the people that have wrote the story, made the game. They, I think, will know a better character to pick than what your average gamer will. And so I don't know. I just think we all look at it this way as well. Third person, you spend all of it. Most of the details is on the face. How often do you see faces close enough up in a video game? You spend most of the time, even third person, looking at the back of their head.
Back of the head.
You know, in the back of them.
Yeah.
So what's the point of spending all this time? It's purely for the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like you talking about the back of them is why I see the argument of some people saying like, well, why do you always pick a girl character? It's like, well, if I'm going to spend like 20 hours playing a game, I'd rather like look at a woman's ass rather than a guy's. I've seen that argument.
Genius.
It's a perfect argument.
Genius.
But that's a whole different topic about
Yeah.
whether or not video game characters are erotic or not.
Yeah.
That's
Next week.
preview. But I think the reality is, well, you look at character customization as well. As good as the studios always want them to be, they never turn out as well as what they want.
I
Like-
think you find that it's never going to be as good or as detailed or as realistic as the standard engine sort of built character that they've got.
Exactly.
I think as well, like with the way capturing is going, like facial capture is becoming a much more important part of gaming now. It's
Yeah.
like it's the same like thing as a movie. They've picked their actor to be the face of this character.
Yeah.
So therefore they've done all the capture points, they've got everything set.
Yeah.
So if you suddenly start stretching things out and so on and changing things around, suddenly all those animations and so on, because of the capturing,
Yeah.
it could start bugging it out.
When I'm playing multiplayer online and I create a character, if I can, I like to create someone who's either quite similar looking to me or someone who is extreme in their appearance. So either extremely large or tall, or I like to go for extremities just for the comedy value.
So basically, whichever way you're going, you're looking for goofy comedy. That's what you're saying.
So you're saying if like GTA 5 had given you the option, your character would either have been like 8 foot tall or like 400 pounds.
He would have been enormous.
But they do still to an extent, don't they? Like you,
No,
when
but
you
you
look on GTA
but,
Online.
like, GTA Online doesn't give you the option to change height or size.
No,
Does it not?
no, doesn't. Just ethnic.
You can change all the facial features and stuff like that.
You've
but
got
you
your
can't.
grandparents or whatever, haven't you? And your parents, is it in GTA?
Oh,
Does
yeah,
that?
Yeah, it like when you port
It
it,
creates
over, there's a whole
character.
load of extra
Yeah.
detail to it now. But it's like, yeah, they don't give you the full
Yeah.
thing.
I understand why people like to create their characters, because it helps you instantly feel more attached to that person than someone.
Yeah.
But from a marketing point of view, it never makes sense for a company to have character customization, because surely you won't have a face of a franchise. Uncharted isn't Uncharted. Uncharted is Nathan Drake. Tomb Raider is Lara Croft, you know, and
Yeah.
all of these games, like Mass Effect is Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
It's you take those characters, like that's what instantaneously recognises you to those franchises.
It does.
You know, Halo is Master Chief, and it works because you have a consistent character.
Yeah.
I can't think of a game where I would ever want personally, but that's just maybe me being lacking in
also,
creative skills. Maybe,
also, like
'cause I don't have that.
even if you went down the road of like the most generic of like presets, just to let you mix up the race or whatever, if you want the hero to be something other than white and so on, you still have a massive problem when it came to marketing, because you'd be like, why do they keep using the white guy? Kind of thing. Like, it would just cause them problems.
Yeah.
So it's like they've got to pick something, or just like say, yeah, you're going to be making the whole thing from the ground up.
I think there's great tools out there now. They had the NBA 2K14 or 15, was it?
15,
where you
yeah.
could scan in your face and it would look exactly like it did in the game, and they showed trailers of how good it looked, and it looked absolutely fantastic. They watched a guy do it stage by stage, and it was like, wow, that's actually my face in the game. That looks amazing.
And then the
But
general
then what
public
happened
tried.
when the general public tried it?
It was an abomination.
People's faces.
Some of the horror
Oh my
pictures, if you look at them.
It literally, those faces would give you nightmares. It was like where you get like a
Was
bit
it
of a
yours,
face. It was
Matt?
like, it made me look good. That's how bad the images were. I mean, and that's just even that. We've come that far along. It is a lot better than say the early FIFAs where you could upload an image.
Yeah.
And it was like, thanks for your picture. We're not going to make the character look anything like it, but thank you for your picture.
Yeah. Or like even the other ones where it basically just plastered a photo over the top.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it being. Well, I understand it being there, but I will never spend time making a character. If I do exactly like Ash said. I go for funny, goofy-looking characters.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to make someone look super realistic, so I might as well make them look stupid. But I could very easily do without it. Is basically.
Yeah, I can take it or leave it. I'm not fussed.
Yeah, personally, I like it when it's there. I will spend time doing it, but I won't complain if it's not.
Yeah.
But then again, that's because I've played games that have wanted to make the character more of my own rather than.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're spending
generic box art style.
spending 100 hours with a game, I can understand why you want a character that's maybe relatable to you, but at the same time.
For me, it's more so in multiplayer, the story or campaign. I'd rather stick to the character that's been chosen for the story.
If the writing is good, they'll make you care about that character just as much if it was as it was your own.
Yeah.
So, I just think character customization is always a way to kind of counteract lazy writing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
a bit of a pessimistic view.
No, but I can see what you're arguing
Yeah.
when you're saying that. That's fine.
It was a good topic.
Yeah. So, cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you enjoyed this video, please do the usual YouTube spiel: like, share, subscribe, comment if you want.
Make us famous.
That wasn't desperate in the slightest.
It's fine.
No, I don't think I missed any. It's 4, isn't it?
Yeah, you could ask them to comment.
I said comment.
Did you comment? Okay.
Yeah, I commented.
Just
and
write the
commented.
word comment.
Yeah. If anyone writes the word comment, someone will comment back to you.
Comment back. I will respond to comments. Yeah. We never really get comments. We did get 1 or 2 comments, but we generally don't get comments.
But anyway, cheers, guys,
Thank you,
and we will see you all next Wednesday.